So you join us now in the main ring for the meat of the competition this evening, the first of our 7 groups. This is the Gundog Group. I'm joined by Frank Kane, who's been hard at work judging Golden Retriever bitches all day today.
And this will be exciting to see the, it's always interesting to see the best of breed winners come into the big ring.
Labrador kennel in Australia in 1967, before returning to the UK in 1974. She made up her first champion in 1983 and has won over 100 cc's.
First, we're going to meet our judge for this evening's Gundog Group, Carol Cood.
She judged Labradors at Crufts in 2000.
Very much a Labrador lady. I actually have an abiding memory of Carol Cood from my Gundog field competition days, many years ago, probably nearly 30 years ago now. Gore-Tex clad, always stylish dark hair swept up into a bun. Gundog whistles round her neck and a lab at her side. And she's a Gundog lady through and through, and she'll be looking for a winner who could do a day's work.
Yes, she and her husband are very interested in dual-purpose Labradors.
So here we have the first of our best of breed winners. This is the Bracco Italiano.
And here's the Brittany.
Now we have the English setter.
Glorious lines of the English setter, astonishingly one of our vulnerable breeds.
And here's one of the rarer breeds, the German Longhaired Pointer.
The German Shorthaired Pointer.
Next up, a close cousin, the German Shorthaired Pointer.
And the German Wirehaired Pointer.
And another cousin, the German Wirehaired Pointer. A little bit stronger in build.
Gordon setter.
Glorious black and tan of the Gordon setter.
The Hungarian Vizsla.
And here's the Hungarian Vizsla.
The Hungarian Wirehaired Vizsla.
The wire-coated cousin here, the Hungarian Wirehaired Vizsla.
Followed by the Irish red and white setter.
Lovely, crisp red markings on that beautiful pearl of a coat. The Irish red and white setter.
And the cousin, the Irish setter. Raring to go.
Towing a handler, and he's broken his lead.
He's been watching the Gundog tests, yes. Oh dear. This
wants to play. Just get the Irish setter back under control.
And now we have the Italian Spinone.
One of my favourite breeds in this group, the Italian Spinone.
Followed by the Lagotto Romagnolo.
And another Italian breed, the Lagotto Romagnolo. This brown and white dog.
Your best breed, large Munsterlander.
The large Munsterlander, always that characteristic black head and ears.
And here's the aristocratic Pointer.
The first of our retrievers, the Chesapeake Bay Retriever.
So we move on now to the group of gun dogs used for retrieving shot game. This is the Chesapeake Bay Retriever.
And the curly-coated Retriever.
The flat coat, always happy, always waving tail.
And here's the Golden Retriever. I've seen a lot of this one today.
The Labrador Retriever.
And our Nova Scotia duck-tolling Retriever.
One of the rarer, the Nova Scotia duck-tolling Retriever. It's a real mouthful to get out, but
Now we move on to the Spaniels. This is the American Cocker Spaniel.
And the Clumber Spaniel, one of the heaviest of the Spaniel breeds.
The Merry Cocker, Cocker Spaniel.
And the English Springer Spaniel.
And here is the English Springer, pre-striding, distinctive front action. And the Field Spaniel, this ancient Spaniel breed, slow, dignified pace.
The Irish Water Spaniel, that unmistakable outline and curly coat.
Sussex Spaniel.
The golden liver of the Sussex Spaniel with his little Sussex roll in his movement.
Springer Spaniel.
The red and white Welsh Springer Spaniel.
The Spanish Water Dog.
And here is the Spanish Water Dog.
Followed by the Weimaraner.
And the last of our best of breed gun dogs for 2019, the Weimaraner.
This evening is the Korthals Griffon.
And this comes from the import register classes. It's the Korthals Griffon.
Still building in numbers and quality in the UK, so not competing in separate classes, but nice to see them in the ring.
Along with Graham Hill to be able to commentate on this superb Gundog Group and such a well-respected Gundog specialist, Carol Cood.
So Carol Cood going to take a look at her best of breed winners, her first chance, apart from being used as a referee to decide where dogs and bitches have been judged separately.
And walking down, just taking in the outlines of the dogs. Are they the right shape for the breed? She's looking for breed type as defined by the breed standard.
Let's talk a little about what we see in front of us.
Very important to get her nerves. No matter how experienced you are as a judge, this is a nerve-wracking experience in the big ring at Crufts. She's just taking in the outline, head and proportions.
Of these subgroups, there is a wide variety of breeds. A real mix of shapes, sizes and
Your
heights,
best of breed there, the golden retriever bitch.
of working requirements and
Yellow
skills.
lab.
A lot of overseas winners here.
Flushing and retrieving is a vital part of the history, heritage,
The
and
Gundog
makeup
Group made
of
up
all
of
Gundog
families. The retriever family,
hunters brought down the prey.
the Spaniel family, which used to flush game out, the setters, which are long-range workers with the pointer, and the all-purpose gun dogs, the hunt, point and retrieve. So it's an interesting set.
The Americas.
So, the first of the individuals.
So here we have the first of our best of breed winners. The Bracco Italiano can be traced all the way back to records from the 4th century, believe it or not. He was bred as a pointing bird dog by noble Italian families, including the Medici, probably created from Egyptian hounds and Persian mastiffs.
Number 7. And as the name suggests, the Bracco Italiano originates from Italy. There are some suggestions that its history can be traced way back to the 5th century.
And they should be lean and athletic, a sculptured head, very athletic stride, a pliable skin.
The Italian Pointer.
They're all-purpose gun dogs. They can hunt and they scent things out and retrieve also.
And the Italian gun dogs have this wonderful, elastic, long, free stride that can just go all day long.
Brittany's today were also judged by Patsy Hollings, and from an entry of 34
The judge now
dogs,
going over the
Patsy
Brittany.
sent forward this
This is
male,
a breed which
number
used to be called a
766.
Brittany Spaniel. It's bred in France. It's an all-purpose retriever. It should be cobby in outline, brisk striding, this lovely sculpt to the head, sculpturing to the head.
In the 17th century. These works of art.
And these can be
medium-sized,
naturally bob-tailed,
orange and
can't they,
white
Frank?
dogs.
Yes, they are. And hugely popular as gun dogs, especially in the native France. They have this brisk stride. They're cobby dogs, which means short couples, short bodies, good length of leg, not over heavy, they're light and athletic. A very nice example of the breed here.
It's a very characteristic movement too, isn't it?
In 1908. That's our best of breed, Brittany.
Carol now turns her attention to the first of the setters, so this is the English setter.
The English setter. The word setter comes from the original work of the breed. They were developed from spaniels and they scented birds on the moors and then crouched or set to mark their presence.
To point or to set up game birds. And we can trace this charming breed, the English setter, back over hundreds.
And this one is a tricolour. It's a blue Belton, but you see the tan freckles on the legs and on the head. Beautiful looking English setter here. One of the vulnerable breeds now, which is hard to believe because they are a beautiful breed.
And that coat should be lovely and flat on the body, and then no curl in it. A slight wave, but good feathering always essential, especially in a show dog.
And
reputed to be the greatest breed authority of all time. That's number 198.
That's our English setter.
Family had the privilege of judging the German long-haired pointer.
now here's the German long-haired pointer. This is one of the rarer German breeds. Bred from from pointers and some hunting and other hunting breeds. It's tall, it's got this sculptured head and very athletic in its build.
Initially developed as a pointing field worker, the German Longhaired pointer was crossed with the setters and the English pointer to increase his speed.
And that longer coat was introduced, or thought to have been introduced, by using some setter blood and also some spaniel blood, which will have helped to improve their working ability too, I'm sure.
Yes, and we'll see some similarity with the large Munsterlander later. The two are very closely related, only the colour differentiating them.
That's our best of breed German Longhaired pointer, 241.
Quite a broad head, but always that aristocratic pointer about it.
Now we see the German Shorthaired pointer. With an entry of 65, we saw Pamblay also judge this breed today, and she chose number 281.
This is the German Shorthaired pointer, and it arose out of the newly emerging Prussian middle class's desire for an all-round hunting companion and a house dog round about the mid-1800s.
Translates into Shorthaired pointer. And since the end of the Second World War, there has been an influx.
They're wonderful working dogs, absolutely unexaggerated. It's fit for function. It's well-boned, a hard coat which is weatherproof, short-bodied, nothing exaggerated, and with a good length of muzzle for retrieving.
Much valued because they are able to hunt on land and in water. They'll point and hold the game on point and then flush it for the guns.
Specialist at hunting, pointing, and retrieving. The GSP has won
Striding out well.
that coveted award in the Gundog world, the Dual Championship, achieving a championship.
A real no-nonsense hunter-pointer retriever, the German Shorthaired pointer.
German Shorthaired pointer, number 281.
So now we see the third of the German.
And here is the German Wirehaired pointer, closely related, but again it's the crisp wire coat which differentiates them. They share some of the same root blood, but they were crossed with some other wire-coated breeds to get this harsh texture.
So as you can see, this is slightly taller than the German Shorthaired pointer that we've just
Another
seen.
really versatile hunter, this one. Slightly heavier all through, comfortable in the fields and woodlands. He's also a wildfowler on winter marshes when necessary.
Recently introduced into
Great
the
workers.
UK.
This one comes from a leading kennel in this country, but it's an imported one.
Medium-sized hunting dog.
Long stride, holding its top line, really going like a working gun dog, and a wonderful coat on it. We saw the judge just looking at the texture of the coat, a double coat.
For those who require a dog for the rough shoot. The German
Powering round the ring, the German Wirehaired pointer.
4-2.
Here we see the second of our setters in the group.
From the setter group of gun dogs, and instantly recognisable for his black and tan coat. Many of the original setters in the Duke of Gordon's Scottish kennel were black and white or tricolour, but then they were stabilised to this wonderful black and tan.
As her best of breed winner. History traces mention of the breed back to the Battle of Waterloo in 1815.
Gordon setters are the heaviest of the setter breeds.
It's likened to a heavyweight hunter, so it's deep in the body, good ribs, well boned, and a beautiful head. These black and tan markings very important on the muzzle, above the eyes, on the chest and down the legs. This one's been best of breed at Crufts before and comes from Italy.
Fantastic, steady, free-moving, long swinging stride, plenty of drive from behind.
Gordon setter, 363.
The Gordon setter.
Sarah Barnard judged the Hungarian Vizslas today. She had an entry of 137.
And here is the Hungarian Vizsla. This comes from the Magyar heritage, where it was always valued as a working dog. Moderate in its build, aristocratic in its head, a lovely pliable coat. Moderate in everything and unexaggerated. A lovely head and expression.
Hungary. Although there's a school of thought that it may well have arrived in Hungary with invaders from further east.
And of course the Vizslas are characterised by this wonderful russet gold coat. It has a slightly greasy texture thought to have helped provide insulation in that jacket.
And
The best of breed.
again, aristocratic. It used to say the standard asks for a gaunt head, which means not fleshy, it's lean and aristocratic.
Mrs. Chris Guest took charge of the Hungarian Wirehaired Vizsla today, and the breed saw an entry of 77.
As in the case of the German hunter-pointer retrievers, the Hungarian Wirehaired Vizsla is a slightly larger and heavier close cousin to the Vizsla.
Its cousin that we've just seen, the Hungarian Wirehaired Vizsla, was developed in the 1930s by Messrs. Joseph and Laszlo, mixing the Vizsla and the German Wirehaired.
Strong bone and that wonderful russet colour, but this time with a wire coat, so you've got distinctive eyebrows and moustaches and beard.
And it's thought that the Hungarian Wirehaired Vizsla was created by crossing the smooth-coated Vizsla, which we've just seen, with a Wirehaired Pointer.
And
also poodle pointers, which I think is a fabulous name.
Same skills of pointing and retrieving on land and in water. Our best of breed Hungarian Wirehaired Vizsla, number 674.
Penny Williams was the judge of the Irish red and white setters.
The wonderful Irish red and white setter. This is a breed which again is vulnerable. It comes in this beautiful orange coat on a clear white pearly background. Athletic and sturdy rather than racy, and closely related to the Irish setter.
Closely associated with Lord Rosmore Monaghan, sometimes known then as the Rossmore setter.
The Irish red and white's thought to be older than the Irish setter, though, and was very much the falconer's workmate before guns were used for hunting. He would crouch or set to indicate a bird, hold that set, and then flush the bird once the falcon was released.
Yes, and they became the poor cousin in the 1890s when the raciness and the glamour of the Irish setter took over. So they've rather suffered, but this one a beauty. We saw her in the final of the vulnerable breed. She's top winner in the breed and a lovely example of it.
Following on from the Irish red and white setter is the last of the setters.
Originally there were 3 Irish setters, the Irish red and white, the Hale setter, which had white ticking in its red coat and is now extinct, and the raciest of the 3, the red, now called the Irish setter.
Took charge of the 115 bitches. And by the referee's decision, number 977.
It has a longer head, the Irish setter, slightly more glamorous, I think, in its rich chestnut coat.
And we see this slight slope to the top line, this rich chestnut coat, lovely chiselling under the eyes.
19th century that saw the breed increase dramatically in popularity.
He was a little bit unsettled when he came into the ring and escaped his handler, but he seems to be settling now.
And although there's undoubtedly glamour there in the show ring, this is a dog that should be able to do a day's work. Really good free striding movement, holding its top line on the move.
And the judge goes over the anatomy and feels the chest, the angulation of the shoulders to give it good confirmation.
Carol Coon now turns her attention to the Italian Spinone. There are 112 Spinone.
Now, here's one of your favourite breeds, Jessica, the Italian Spinone. This unique outline, this rise in the top line, thick, leathery skin and protective coat, and this head which has an almost human expression. Lots of substance in this breed, which goes back to the 15th century in Italy.
Particularly popular with those who want a hardy field working gun.
The Spinone's a squarely built dog, strong-boned, robust, hardy and really adaptable. It's a dog that can go all day with this long swinging stride, very economic. They are real workers.
Lots of substances, strong bone and this pounding trot covering the ground in its head carriage to pick up the scent. Don't think it's got a dippy top line. That's part of the breed. It's a slight break in the top line of the dog, a breed feature.
And there's that extended trot, front legs coming well forwards, real powerful movement.
Jenny Miller was our judge of the breed and had a very strong entry of 72.
Unmistakable, the Lagotto Romagnolo. In this case, it does exactly what it says on the tin. Lagotto is an Italian dialect word for the type of curly coat, and it's a wildfowl retriever. Romagnolo means that's where it came from.
There used to be duck retrievers in northern Italy, but now when the lakes dried up, they were trained to be truffle hunters, which is a pretty good job to have.
I always think the Lagotto Romagnolo, when you see them move, when he settles into his stride, they're the most fantastically balanced dog. You can imagine that out in the woods, truffle seeking, moving over all terrain.
Again, it's a very nice proportions and top line, and a weatherproof coat, dense weatherproof coat. Very alert, a lovely quality Lagotto Romagnolo with this long stride, head of good proportions,
Craig Woodward was the judge.
full of running.
Munsterlanders that Carol's now examining. An entry of 67, Margaret chose this dog, number 129.
Now here is the large Munsterlander from Germany. Always comes with this black head, which may have a little white tip to it, a black and white body or roan body, strong, athletic, and a slight slope in the top line. All-purpose gun dogs from Germany.
In 1919, here in the UK,
Originally, they were actually registered as German long-haired pointers. Back in 1922, they were separated off as a breed when the German long-haired pointer breeders decided they didn't want any black; they only wanted liver.
And we saw the liver German long-haired, but we see the similarity in the head shape, the proportions, and the top line.
and pointers today were judged by specialist Marilyn Hinton from an entry of 233.
One of the most stylish of all gun dogs, the pointer was bred to scent and indicate game on open moorland, graceful in outline, swift and athletic with that characteristic dished face.
Westminster Kennel Club and is featured on the trophy presented to Crufts.
The standard asks for a series of graceful curves. It should look like a thoroughbred and go like a thoroughbred.
Sensation, which was born in Britain in 1874.
Most probably descended from continental pointing dogs brought home by officers after military campaigns, where, of course, when they weren't actually fighting, they liked to go hunting.
Yes.
Certainly made his mark.
Again, it should have a slightly concave nose, so the nose is raised to pick up the scent. It should be clean in its action and lash its tail.
This is number 140.
Long rib cage there. The length of the dog is in the ribs, strong and muscular back. The beautiful lines of the pointer.
We now come to the first of our retriever subgroup and the Chesapeake Bay Retriever.
And one of the strongest breeds in the group, it's the Chesapeake Bay Retriever.
Here at Crufts today.
Thick, dense coat, bred to survive in the icy waters of North America. And then, apart from retrieving ducks, which it's an expert at, it used to guard the home.
Known as the water dog of America, first found in the neighborhood of
Beautiful
Scotia,
quality.
and is almost as old as the
And that coat is really characteristic, both in the way it feels and the protection that it gives to the dog. Harsh and oily. Lovely description of the colours. Dead grass, straw, bracken, sedge and ash.
And often they would be taken out in boats into the middle of the lake, and when the birds were shot, then the Bay Retriever would launch itself and retrieve from a boat.
The official dog of Maryland. That's our best of breed Chesapeake Bay Retriever, the 1594.
So we come to the next of the retrievers, also with an identity.
Very much a water retriever in origin. The curly coat retriever owes his crowning glory to his English water spaniel and poodle ancestors, who were mixed with retriever stock to produce a dog highly valued by waterfowlers.
This was originally bred in the UK as a gun dog to assist with the hunting of upland game.
And this is the largest of the retrievers, and characterised by this crisp, curly coat, big ribs, a wedge-shaped head.
First breed classes were seen in 1860.
And the curls extend from the back of the dog's head all the way over its whole body to the tip of its tail. It's only the front of the dog's face that is clean.
And this one has come from Holland to win today.
Another gun dog with excellent
Powerful, good extension in front and drive from behind on the move. This is a retriever. Remember, it's got to cover the ground to pick up the dead bird and then carry it regardless of weight.
Best of breed 1665.
Again, always wanting a long, clean stride for economic movement.
Chris Atkins, who took charge of the 154 males. One was co-judge. Dennis William went over.
Now here is the flat-coated retriever, the raciest and perhaps the happiest of the retrievers. It has Labrador in its blood, but the breeds were brought in to give it a sort of lighter, racier build.
As the wavy-coated retriever. But as the breed improved,
And this one, they also come in liver, but here, the very happy flat coat.
full of energy, prized by gamekeepers most for their excellent game marking, which means being able to sit patiently and spot the game where it drops, and then when they're sent, shoot out and make an accurate retrieve.
And the exhibitors in the flat coats are keen on keeping the working abilities, and we have several full champions.
So now Carol turns her attention to the breed with the biggest Crufts entry.
Now this is the Golden Retriever, the biggest entry of the day. The forebears of the flat coat, the wavy-coated retrievers, were crossed with Tweed Water Spaniels by the first Lord Tweedmouth to produce the yellow retriever that eventually was the Golden.
This one a bit, which has come from Holland, although bred in Italy. Beautiful, soft expression, lovely proportions with a good length of leg. When you've spent a day amongst golden retrievers, you realise what a wonderful breed they are for temperament and quality. Quite beautiful.
Nice round of applause there. Very balanced golden retriever, beautiful movement.
And the best of breed was decided by the group judge because I judged the bitches and the dog judge and we both stuck to our guns for best of breed, and the referee was called in. Both lovely dogs, but we needed the referee.
Here in Crufts this year, 531 dogs, and once again we had 2 judges.
And here is the Labrador Retriever. Again, it's thought to have been developed in North America, and again completely fit for function with this thick double coat. The judge just looking at the undercoat there. Big ribs to give it buoyancy in the water, a water-going dog, good length of muzzle for retrieving, and that thick otter tail. These are breed characteristics which are part of breed type.
Strongly built, the Labrador Retriever, but agile, endlessly good-tempered dogs with an exceptional nose and a soft-mouthed retrieve.
And the second highest entry in the show, the Golden Retrievers being the highest entry.
Number 2910.
The Labrador.
Breed specialist Elaine Whitehill had 153.
This is the little Nova Scotia duck toller. A toller's a decoy dog, and the Nova Scotia duck toller was bred to draw curious ducks within range of the guns using that waving tail. Little white tip at the end.
Breed's named for its ability to entice or to lure waterfowl within gunshot range.
Distinctly absent on this particular example.
But it's not compulsory. It's one of the white markings which is desirable. Again, the high carriage of the tail. It said that was what attracted the action of the tail attracted the ducks within range of the guns. So perhaps a bit of canine folklore there.
The bright red colour, very characteristic of this breed, and the pigment, so the eye rims and the nose to match.
Webbed feet for swimming and helping propel them through the water.
Another breed specialist.
Now, one of my favourite breeds, and the American Cocker hails from the same blood as the Cocker Spaniel, developed in America, and they were separated in the 1940s. A beautiful head there, the plush muzzle, shorter face than the Cocker Spaniel, lovely breed type.
Developed there in the early part of the last century from the Cocker Spaniel.
Now we'll see when the American Cocker moves, it should maintain a slightly sloping top line. That is one of the main differences between the Cocker and the American Cocker.
It should be roughly square in outline, but sturdy little dogs, compact and yet with a refined, rounded head.
And this one has won from the veteran class. She's nearly 8 years old, and she's come from Norway to win Best of Breed.
Best of Breed winning American Cocker Spaniel, double three.
Smooth and effortless movement from the American Cocker Spaniel.
Again with that long front stride, which is economical and desirable in working gun dogs.
This male, number 3348. The heaviest of the spaniel breeds, the name Clumber.
The second Duke of Newcastle was the father of the Clumber Spaniel, developed on his Nottinghamshire estate, Clumber Park, at the end of the 18th century. It's the heaviest of the Spaniel breeds.
Way back in 1788.
A lot of bone and substance there. They are rather long dogs, long rib cage, and this Strong skull and muzzle.
They may be slower in speed and much stronger in frame, but that was said to be very well suited to the thick, tangled undergrowth of the Nottinghamshire's Sherwood Forest.
And we'll see that the proportions of body and leg length give him a slight rolling action on the move. The largely white body coat can have some orange or lemon markings. Standing very well there.
And that wonderful large square head.
3348.
The largest of the Spaniel entries, 357.
Now the Cocker Spaniel on the table, a beautiful blue roan. They get the epithet the merry cocker because they should always be happy and wagging their tail. They should be compact and square, big ribs and this lovely length of muzzle, slightly domed skull, just a little bit of arch to the skull and a soft kind expression.
Another breed that can be traced way back
Now,
in history.
just hiding behind the table there, but this one has been best of breed at Crufts on several occasions. The record holder in the breed, cockery.
Blue roan in colour, that isn't it?
Yes, it's a dark blue roan, strongly boned, lovely top line, very happy on the move, and the tail just coming off the back nicely.
And such a merry, gentle and affectionate nature, it's small wonder they've become such popular pets as well.
Kate Keeley was our English Springer Spaniel judge today.
The tallest of the land spaniels, and originally called the Norfolk Spaniel thanks to the Duke of Norfolk's patronage, this is the Springer Spaniel, named for his purpose, springing forwards and flushing birds.
He's the highest on the leg of the land spaniel, so he's got good length of leg, and that should be a very marked forward thrust of the leg when it moves. Lovely proportions. They're a little bit rectangular in build.
Followed 2 years later in 1902.
And to this day, this breed's prodigious capacity for work in any terrain or weather makes him the most popular of the spaniels for the field.
And before the guns were invented, they used to spring forward and drive the bird into nets.
That's our best of breed English Springer Spaniel.
Characteristic swinging stride of the English Springer Spaniel.
We'll turn our attention now to the field spaniel.
Now, one of the most ancient of the land spaniels, the field spaniel, almost extinct in the 1940s, only a few breeders keeping it going. It needed a cross with an English Springer to keep the gene pool and enlarge the gene pool.
The field spaniel, therefore, is a medium-sized Gundog, and once again, very proficient in the field.
A noble head, lean under the eyes, beautiful almond-shaped eyes, and this is a breed which is rectangular in body shape, and it should go with a long, dignified stride. It was a man-made breed. It was designed by crossing Sussex Spaniels with Cockers and some other Spaniel input to get these unique proportions.
Fantastic thrashing tail here. The gait described as unhurried, but I don't think that's unhurried. We're having a very good day.
Now we come to the tallest of the spaniels. Here we see the Irish Water Spaniel.
The Irish Water Spaniel is a breed used to retrieve waterfowl. And dogs like him, liver-coloured, curly-coated and rat-tailed, have been known for centuries.
3945 as his best of breed.
Going under the coat, the distinctive coat, big ribs, looking at the texture of the coat, which should have a slight oiliness to it.
It almost makes ringlets, doesn't it? It's the largest of the Spaniel family.
And we'll see it's rat tail. Most of the tail is bare, just a couple of inches of curl on the tail. Long-haired, it's thought that the poodle played part in its ancestry.
And that liver colour has an almost purplish bloom to it, doesn't it? It's very distinctive of the breed.
And carrying itself well. They can be very clownish. In fact, one of the books on the breed is called A Bundle of Rags in a Cyclone. And that really captures...
What a fabulous title.
A Bundle of Rags in a Cyclone. And here is one of the rarer spaniels, the Sussex Spaniel, perhaps the lowest to the ground of the spaniel breed. A lovely golden liver, quite long in the body and relatively short in the leg, and strongly boned.
Find a Gundog with the
And when you read about the history of the Sussex Spaniel, I love the description that there's a suspicion of hound blood in its background, because it's the only member of the Spaniel family to bay like a good one when he's giving tongue when he's found
it gives
scent.
voice, yes, and this one going very nicely, absolutely level in the top line, lovely depth to the body, and a free action. It's, you know, sometimes a challenge to get short-legged dogs with free action. And this one certainly has it. The little golden tips to the coat.
Now we come to the last of the Spaniels. This is the Welsh.
Red and white hunting dogs have been recorded in Wales since the Middle Ages and of distinctly Spaniel type since the 18th century. This is the Welsh Springer Spaniel.
Male, of his bitch, number 4167.
Slightly smaller than the English Springer and only coming in this colour. The English Springer has, you can come in black and white and tricolour. This one only comes in this rich chestnut and white.
They're a little more compact all through, aren't they? Built for endurance and hard work.
Moderate length of leg, moderate length of body, and a clean, long head. Never short and chubby in the head. It wants good retrieving power in the muzzle.
Superb temperament.
The other interesting thing is the arch over the loin, which is a characteristic of the Welsh Springer top line. Very nice front action coming towards us, parallel legs, which is a sign of good assembly.
Jackie Ward was in charge.
A multi-purpose dog, originally of Turkish herders and drovers before being developed in Spain. This is the Spanish water dog. He's a jack of all trades.
And if we call him a rustic breed, that's exactly what he is. This thick, waterproof coat, they can be clipped perhaps every 6 months, but they should be absolutely rustic. No fancy trimming to shape them. They are absolutely functional. And they're also used in its native Spain for cattle drovers. Apart from working in water, they're a wonderful rustic breed.
Classified in the Gundog Group because they're also fantastic waterfowlers, but as you say, they could also retrieve nets from water, go hunting with you, guard your flock and look after your homestead. A really all-purpose dog. The Spanish water dog.
And now we travel from Spain to Germany. Here we see the Weimaraner. With Eunice Rennie Jones in charge of the breed today, there was 124 white Weimaraner.
And there is the Weimaraner, the grey ghost dog from Germany, and it takes its name from the German Weimar court, and goes back to the 17th century. And Van Dyck painted some Weimaraners. It's called the grey ghost because of this silver grey coat, these light-coloured eyes. We see there, there's a gaunt nobility about the breed, but also good substance.
Used by the aristocracy to hunt large game, such as bear, boar, and deer, as well as smaller game, such as...
Slightly longer than he is tall. The Weimaraner's deep-chested, should be level-backed, nice and straight in front, and really muscular rear to drive him across cover.
And they also come in a long-haired variety. It's less common, but we've had a couple of champions made up.
Stamina and endurance. That's our best of breed. Weimaraner 4393.
So the last of the dogs.
There's the nobility and stride of the Weimaraner.
Judged today by Ronnie Roygens from the Netherlands. There were 21 dogs entered across 4 breeds. The breeds were...
Now,
Founded by Dutchman Edward Korthals from a Wirehaired pointing bitch who was a great worker. This is the Korthals Griffon, a robust dog, a very natural appearance.
yes, Dutchmen also used some of the French pointers to create the breed. We see the influence of the German Wirehaired pointer in it, in the crisp coat. Pre-striding, relatively new. This is the first time the import registered dogs have been allowed to compete in the group. They're a developing breed, and it's won classes for all of the import breeds today. So it's defeated other breeds as well to get here.
That harsh double coat, the last of our best of breed winners in the Gundog Group, the Korthals Griffon.
Individual best of breed winning Gundogs.
So Carol Cood's seen all our best of breeds in the Gundog Group. Who's she going to pick for her shortlist?
There were 4,535 Gundogs here today. nearly a quarter of the show. So while they're all together, ladies and gentlemen, give them all one big round of applause. Thank you.
Now, this is the time she's walking around and reminding herself of what she found when she put hands on the dog. She's the one who's had her hands on, felt the rib cages, but she's wasting no time in bringing out her shortlist.
It's the German Wirehaired Pointer comes in first of all. This is just the shortlist, remember.
The Hungarian Wirehaired Vizsla.
The Hungarian Wirehaired Vizsla comes in, and the Irish red and white setter.
Lovely pointer. Oh, your golden retriever, Frank.
Oh.
Congratulations, into the shortlist.
The Irish Water Spaniel.
Here's the Irish Water Spaniel and the Cocker Spaniel and the Duck-Tolling Retriever and the Spanish Water Dog all coming in. So there we have our shortlist for the Gundog Group, the first group at Crufts 2019. Now,
I think we have 9 shortlisted dogs.
So we
So she's going up to the head of her line again, and she's going to move her dogs. We've got the German Wirehaired Pointer, the Wirehaired Vizsla, the Irish red and white setter,
and the Pointer and the Golden Retriever, the Nova Scotia Duck-Tolling Retriever and the Cocker Spaniel.
And then the last two, we have the Irish Water Spaniel and the Spanish Water Dog. That's our final cut.
Now she's going to move them round the ring, I think, and she'll very much have in her mind fit for function. She has working gun dogs herself. They'll have to please her in that department, that they look fit for the job for which they were bred.
So from one of the top kennels in the UK for many, many years for German Wirehaired Pointers.
Lovely top line, full of type, excellent coat.
Beautiful balanced movement. Here we have the Wirehaired Vizsla, the Hungarian Wirehaired Vizsla.
And this looks relatively young. It looks a little bit immature in the body, but obviously a lovely specimen of the breed. And this is a beautiful Irish red and white setter. The correct colours for the breed, the correct size, strong and sturdy, rather than racy. A lovely quality bitch.
The pointer. Those classic graceful lines, that dish face, so characteristic of the breed.
The tail action should be lashing from side to side. And here is the Golden Retriever.
She's delightful, Frank. Look at her.
She's had a long day. She defeated 270 other bitches before she went to challenge for best of breed.
The Nova Scotia Duck-Tolling Retriever. Nice for this breed to get into the final lineup. There's great quality in the Nova Scotias in this country.
And here's a big winner, the breed record holder in Cocker Spaniels, this Blue Roan. And again, bustling, the Cocker Bustle it's called, really using the hindquarters, cobby and compact, and a very good top line.
And there's the sign of a really good show dog. She's gone up a gear, hasn't she? The Irish Water Spaniel.
Again, his handler, Judith Carruthers, containing his effervescence. I've seen him a little bit wilder than this. They're going very nicely. And they're the Spanish Water Dog.
Jackie Ward was in charge of the breed and sent us through this.
Correct.
Rustic, understated,
yes.
all-purpose gun dog.
Rectangular in its body shape and that thick, waterproof coat. Now, what do you think, Jessica?
Well, obviously, I hope for your sake it's the Golden Retriever. She looks wonderful and she went so well. The Cocker, I think, went real competition.
Went beautifully well.
German Wirehaired Pointer was magnificent as well.
The Irish red and white setter. So, what are we going to do? While we're waiting for the boards, she's having a last look. So who's won it?
The Irish Water Spaniel takes the group.
Second, the
German Wirehaired Pointer into second spot. Your golden retriever is there. How wonderful for you, Frank.
Third is the golden retriever.
And the Spanish water dog takes Group 4. Fabulous.
So shows the variety in the Gundog group, the Irish Water Spaniel.
The Irish Water Spaniel takes the group, and just look at that classic head, the top knot, the ears, that smiling face. Wonderful win.
And a huge round of applause for our judge, Carol.
Beautiful eye and expression, and yes, quite unfazed by the occasion.
To present the trophies to
And there's Judith Carruthers from Carlisle looking very happy with her win there.
Irish Water Spaniel.
Congratulations, and the trophy presentation to our group winner. So we have the first of our Crufts finalists for 2019.
And he'll be back on Sunday evening to compete for Best in Show.
I imagine you're thrilled.
I'm speechless.
And have you come far? Have you got far to go home?
I'm staying for the weekend, so yeah, we'll just go back to the hotel tonight and have a few drinks. I think it's something to eat. I'm starving.
And what's your dog's name? So this is Luther, who is our first group winner of Crufts 2019.
So can our winners do the
So here we have it, the first of our winners for 2019, and a magnificent one at that, the Irish Water Spaniel. A great day for the breed, lovely win, and they're going to take their lap of honour, and we'll see them back on Sunday night, won't we, Frank?
Absolutely. So very good start with the Irish Water Spaniel, and one thing's for certain, he'll have plenty of energy. They never tire of showing. So and looking around and enjoying the occasion.
German Wirehaired Pointer in second place, and then we had the golden retriever that Frank sent through, and the Spanish water dog. 4 fabulous gun dogs representing something of the variety in this lovely group.
That concludes the Crufts 2019. I wish you all a safe journey home, and hopefully we'll see you again tomorrow.
So they're clearing the ring now. That's the end of activities for today, the first day of Crufts 2019.
But 3 more to come.
There are. Here we are, highlights for tomorrow. We've got heel work to music competition, flyball, the quarter-finals, and of course 2 groups tomorrow, the working and pastoral group, which Frank and I will certainly be looking forward to. So make sure you join us if you can. Plenty of coverage. Don't forget our afternoon show as well, and we will certainly look forward to seeing you all tomorrow.